Welcome. Let yourself settle in comfortably as we journey together to Venus, our mysterious sister planet. Take a deep breath and let's begin. High atop Venus's tallest mountains, something magical happens. Snow falls gently on the peaks. But this is no ordinary snow. It's metallic snow, made of shimmering lead sulfide and bismuth sulfide, crystallizing in the cooler heights. A silver dusting on an alien world. Breathe slowly and imagine the atmosphere of Venus moves in ways we're only beginning to understand. The clouds race around the planet 60 times faster than the surface below. A phenomenon called superrotation. The winds howl through the upper atmosphere, while far below, the surface turns slowly, peacefully, in its own time. Let your thoughts drift. Lightning may dance through Venus's clouds, but not like lightning on Earth. Scientists believe it flickers within the clouds themselves. Silent electrical storms, hidden in the sulfuric mist. Invisible pulses of energy, flowing through an alien sky. Feel yourself relaxing deeper. Within those clouds, droplets of sulfuric acid float, suspended in layers. These droplets could dissolve metal, yet they drift peacefully, layer upon layer, in a delicate balance. A dangerous beauty, floating undisturbed. Breathe in. Breathe out. If you could stand on Venus's surface, you would feel a pressure, like being 900 meters underwater on Earth. The atmosphere presses down, heavy and thick, embracing the surface in a dense blanket of air. Your body is growing heavier, more relaxed. 50 kilometers above the scorching surface, there's a layer of clouds where something remarkable exists. In this middle layer, the temperature and pressure are surprisingly similar to Earth's surface. Habitable zone, floating in the Venusian sky, where humans could perhaps stand, suspended in a hostile world. Let go of any remaining tension. The Akatsuki spacecraft, drifting quietly through space, discovered something beautiful. A phenomenon called glory. Rainbow-like optical effects, appearing in Venus's clouds. Circles of light and color, dancing in the atmosphere. Cosmic light show. In the perpetual twilight, Your breathing is slow and steady. Looking down at Venus from above, you would see a pattern, a mysterious Y shape, carved in the clouds, visible only in ultraviolet light, created by atmospheric circulation cells. In each hemisphere, planet breathing in its own ancient rhythm. Feel yourself sinking deeper into comfort. Those sulfuric acid clouds that shroud the entire planet, hiding its surface from view, are only 20 kilometers thick. Thin veil over a world of mysteries, yet they dominate everything we see. A golden haze, wrapping Venus in secrecy, almost asleep now. And deep within that atmosphere, scientists have found traces of phosphine, a rare gas. On Earth, life creates phosphine. But on Venus, its origin remains unknown. A whisper of mystery, floating in the toxic clouds. Question waiting in the Venusian sky. Us now. Let these mysteries of Venus carry you gently into peaceful sleep. Drift deeper now as we explore how Venus moves through time in its own peculiar way. Let your mind float. Venus turns so slowly, so very slowly, takes 243 Earth days for Venus to complete just one rotation, one full spin. Think of that. A single day on Venus is longer than its entire year, which takes only 225 Earth days. Time moves differently there. If you could stand on Venus's equator, watching the horizon, you would witness something extraordinary. The sun would rise in the west and set in the east, the opposite of Earth. Venus spins backward, retrograde, dancing to its own rhythm in the cosmic ballet. Release any thoughts, just listen. From one sunrise to the next sunrise, on Venus, 117 Earth days would pass. Imagine the slow, patient arc of the sun crossing the sky over weeks and weeks, time stretching out, endless and dreamlike. Feel yourself drifting. Long ago, perhaps billions of years past, something massive struck Venus. An ancient collision. How powerful. It may have flipped the entire planet upside down, sending it spinning In this backward dance, cosmic accident that changed Venus forever. Your breathing is deep and even, and Venus continues to slow. Even now, its rotation grows more languid. Measurements show spins about 6.5 minutes slower than it did in the 1990s. The planet winding down like an ancient clock, slowing through the eons. Let go completely. This unusual rotation creates something strange. The Coriolis effect, that invisible force that shapes weather and ocean currents, works in reverse on Venus. Everything turned around. Mirror image physics on our backward spinning sister world. Sink deeper into rest. Despite this slow, ponderous spin, Venus generates no magnetic field. Unlike Earth, unlike other rocky planets, Venus has no protective magnetic embrace. No invisible shield. Just the planet itself, turning slowly, exposed to the solar wind. Your mind is quiet now. At the poles of Venus, the slow rotation creates perpetual twilight, neither day nor night, but something in between, an endless soft glow, where the sun never fully rises, never fully sets, eternal dusk, painting the polar skies, almost completely relaxed. Venus and the Sun share a cosmic coincidence. For every 3 times Venus orbits the Sun, it rotates exactly twice. A mathematical harmony. Perhaps random. Perhaps not. The universe keeping time. In mysterious ways. Rest peacefully. Scientists believe that long ago, Venus may have spun much faster, young and energetic, but the thick atmosphere created tides, atmospheric tides, that gradually slowed the planet, like friction, over billions of years, until Venus turned at this low, peaceful. Let Venus's ancient rhythm carry you deeper into tranquil sleep. Journey with me now, down to the surface of Venus, where ancient fires shaped a world. Breathe slowly and drift. More than 1,600 volcanoes rise from the surface of Venus, more than any other planet in our solar system. Mountains of fire, sleeping peacefully now, scattered across the landscape. Silent witnesses to Venus's fiery past. Your body is completely at ease. Some of these volcanoes take unusual shapes, flat and wide, like pancakes, spreading across the land. 65 kilometers wide, 1 kilometer tall. Domes of cooled lava, frozen in time. Beneath the golden clouds, let your thoughts dissolve. Venus has features found nowhere else, called coronae, crown-like formations, circular volcanic structures, some stretching over 1,000 kilometers, rings within rings, carved by ancient heat, rising from the planet's interior. Sink deeper still. There are stranger formations still. Scientists call them arachnoids, 'cause they look like spiders. Radial patterns, stretching outward, web-like structures, etched across the Venusian plains. Beauty in the alien landscape. Your mind is drifting peacefully. The highest point on Venus, Maxwell Montes, rises 11 kilometers above the average surface, taller than Mount Everest, above sea level. Towering peak, crowned with metallic snow, standing silent in the thick atmosphere. Feel the weight of sleep. Meteors that approach Venus face a trial. Thick atmosphere burns most of them away. No crater smaller than 2 kilometers exists on the surface. Only the largest impacts break through, leaving their marks on the ancient ground. Rest deeper now. Venus has continents. Oh, not quite continents, but highland regions. Vast elevated lands. Ulterae, Starterra, Aphrodite Terra, rising above the plains, like islands in a sea of solidified lava. Your breathing is soft and slow. 80% of Venus's surface is covered by lava plains, smooth as glass in places, flat as a parking lot. Vast emptiness, stretching to the horizon. Ancient flows, now frozen, forever still. Let go of everything. Long channels, carved by rivers of lava. Wind across the surface, some extending over 6,000 kilometers, longer than any river on Earth. Ancient pathways, where molten rock once flowed. Now cold, now silent, now at peace, almost asleep. The rocks beneath your feet, if you could stand there, would be basalt, dark volcanic rock, giving Venus its orange-red hue under the filtering clouds. Everything bathed in a warm golden light. A world of stone and fire, now sleeping, waiting, dreaming. Rest now. Let the ancient volcanoes watch over your sleep. Deeper into sleep now, as we explore whether Venus's fires still burn. Let yourself float. Some scientists believe Venus may still have active volcanoes. Even today, the atmosphere changes. Sulfur dioxide levels rise and fall. But somewhere beneath the clouds, a volcano awakens, breathes, and sleeps again. Your body grows heavier. The surface shows signs of recent activity within the last few million years, which in geological time is yesterday. Only moments ago, Venus was reshaping itself. The planet, still alive, drift peacefully now. Something extraordinary happened long ago. The entire surface of Venus is roughly the same age, 300 to 600 million years old. The whole planet was renewed all at once. A global resurfacing event, erasing what came before. Your thoughts are fading. Venus has no plate tectonics. Not like Earth. The crust doesn't slide and shift, does it? Heat escapes differently, through volcanic eruptions, through plumes of magma rising from deep below. Planet breathing in its own way. Breathe with Venus. This volcanic activity may come in pulses, separated by hundreds of millions of years. Long periods of quiet, then sudden awakening. Centuries of eruptions, reshaping the world. Then silence again. For eons. Feel yourself sinking. On Venus, lava flows differently. The high atmospheric pressure keeps volatile gases inside, so the lava flows further, spreading across vast distances, before finally coming to rest. Let go completely. Strange formations, the landscape, called tick structures, radiating grooves, like the legs of an insect, carved by volcanic forces, unique to Venus. Patterns frozen in cooling rock. Your mind is quiet. If cryovolcanoes exist on Venus, they would be unlike any on Earth, erupting not with water, but with molten metal, liquid minerals, flowing like rivers, then solidifying into metallic formations, gleaming under the clouds, almost completely at rest. Some of Venus's shield volcanoes resemble those in Hawaii, but so much larger. Massive domes rising from the plains, built layer by layer over millions of years, patiently, slowly growing. Sleep is near. Radar images reveal volcanic calderas that collapsed multiple times, creating nested craters, circles within circles. Each collapse, a chapter in the story of Venus's restless heart. Also, now peaceful, resting like you. Let the ancient fires keep you warm as you drift to deep, peaceful sleep. Float now through invisible fields, energy and magnetism surrounding Venus. Breathe. Let go. Venus has no magnetic field of its own, but creates something called an induced magnetosphere. The solar wind, flowing from the sun, interacts with the ionosphere, creating a magnetic presence born from the meeting of two forces. Your body is weightless. Without a magnetic shield, the atmosphere of Venus is slowly stripped away, particle by particle. The solar wind carries them A space. Venus. Gradually losing pieces of itself to the cosmos. Rest deeply now. Behind Venus, stretching millions of kilometers into the darkness of space, a magnetic tail forms, like a comet's tail, flowing, undulating in the solar breeze. Venus leaves a wake as it travels through the void. Let your mind wander. On the night side of the planet, where darkness reigns, magnetic reconnection events occur, releasing bursts of energy, silent explosions in the upper atmosphere, invisible fireworks dancing in the eternal night. Your thoughts dissolve. Something curious happens in Venus's ionosphere. More particles are ionized at night than during the day. The opposite of what we'd expect. Mystery in the electrical realm. Venus, always surprising us. Sink into stillness. The electrical environment around Venus creates conditions for unusual plasma physics, phenomena we're only beginning to understand. Waves of energy rippling through the upper atmosphere, invisible but powerful. Feel the peace surrounding you. Electromagnetic waves dance through Venus's atmosphere, accelerating particles to incredible speeds. Energy cascading through invisible fields. Planet humming with electric life, though we cannot see it. You are drifting where the solar wind meets Venus. A boundary forms called the bow shock. This boundary fluctuates dramatically with the sun's activity, expanding, contracting, breathing with the solar weather. Almost sleeping now. Space weather events wash over Venus, heating the upper atmosphere by hundreds of degrees, then fading. The planet responding to the sun's moods, connected across millions of kilometers of empty space. Rest peacefully. Billions of years ago, ancient Venus may have had its own magnetic field, generated deep within a core. Top churning field faded away, leaving Venus pose still, beautiful, all enduring. Let the invisible forces aid you into the deepest, most peaceful sleep. Dream now of those who ventured to visit Venus, mechanical explorers sent from Earth. Breathe softly. In 1970, a spacecraft called Venera 7 became the first to successfully land on another planet and transmit data back from the surface. Humanity's first touch of an alien world. Venus welcomed us. Despite its harshness, your body releases all tension. Even before that, in 1962, Mariner 2 flew past Venus, the first spacecraft ever to visit another planet. Pioneer, opening the door to the planets beyond. Drift peacefully. Venera 13 landed on the Venusian surface, designed to survive for only minutes, but it endured for 127 minutes, far exceeding its expected life. Stubbornly gathering data in the crushing heat and pressure. Let go of consciousness. That brave lander captured photographs, the only images we have from Venus's surface. Flat rocks under orange skies. Landscape no human eyes have ever seen. Sip through these mechanical witnesses. You are floating. The Magellan spacecraft orbited Venus from 1990 to 1994, mapping the surface with radar, penetrating the clouds, revealing 98% of the hidden world below. Venus unveiled. Sink deeper. Japan's Akatsuki spacecraft attempted to enter orbit, but failed. So it orbited the Sun for 5 years, waiting patiently until finally, in 2015, successfully entered Venus orbit. Persistence thwarted. Your mind is drifting away. Many spacecraft have used Venus for gravity assists, including the Voyagers and Comet missions, Venus helping them on their journeys. A cosmic stepping stone, lending its gravitational embrace to explorers headed deeper into space. Almost asleep, Venus Express discovered something unexpected. Cold layer in the atmosphere at 125 kilometers. Despite hot layers above and below, Venus full of surprises, always teaching us something new. Us now. Pioneer Venus orbiter studied the planet for 14 years, far longer than planned. Faithful observer, touching, learning, until finally, into the atmosphere, becoming part of the world. Studied. Sleep deeply. More spacecraft have visited Venus than any other planet, except Mars, drawn to our sister world, seeking to understand why two similar planets became so different. Venus, keeper of secrets, guardian of mysteries. Let the explorers watch over you as you sleep peacefully, completely rest. Rest now as we explore the names given to Venus's features, stories written across the surface. Breathe gently. Venus takes its name from the Roman goddess of love and beauty, and in tribute, nearly every feature on the planet's surface is named after famous women from history and mythology. Your eyelids are heavy. All of Venus's features, except 3 highland regions, honor women from every culture, every time period. A planet celebrating the feminine across its entire face. Drift into dreams. Alpha Regio on Venus was the first feature identified by radar from Earth in the 1960s, when we first began to see through the clouds, discovering what lay beneath. Let your mind wander. There is a feature called Eve Corona, named after the biblical first woman, circular, beautiful, into the Venusian surface, a name from ancient story, given to ancient stone. You are sinking. The Freyamontes mountain ranges, named after the Norse goddess of love and war, rising from the plains, strong and beautiful, like the goddess who inspired name. Release everything. Regions across Venus honor famous women. Sappho, the ancient poet. Cleopatra, powerful queen. Sacagawea, the brave guide. Names immortalized on another world. Your breathing slows. This tradition of naming features after women was established to honor the planet's namesake goddess, Venus herself, a planet dedicated to the memory and achievements of women throughout history. Feel the peace. There is a crater on Venus named for Amelia Earhart, the pioneering pilot who flew and disappeared. Now her name flies forever on another world, among the clouds. She loved, almost sleeping. The naming tradition reaches across cultures. Aztec goddesses, Chinese legends, Aboriginal stories, all finding their place on Venus's surface, a planet that belongs to all humanity. Rest deeply now. Beta Regio, one of the few features with a Greek letter name rather than a woman's name, standing alone, different but still part of Venus's story, still part of the family. But the stories, these names, carry you into gentle, peaceful, complete sleep. Breathe with me as we explore the atmosphere that Venus breathed, air that surrounds it, soft and slow. 96.5% of Venus's atmosphere is carbon dioxide, thick blanket, trapping heat, heating, the runaway greenhouse effect that made Venus what it is today. Your body melts into comfort. The remaining 3.5% includes nitrogen, sulfur dioxide, and traces of other gases. Recipe: accurate. Venus is unique. Golden haze. Let go of thought. Clouds exist in 3 distinct layers, different heights, each with its own composition, each with its own character, stacked one upon another, like pages in a book. Drift away near the surface. The lower atmosphere contains carbon monoxide, suggesting chemical reactions with the hot rocks below. Venus's atmosphere and surface speaking to each other through chemistry. Your mind grows quiet. The isotopes in Venus's atmosphere tell a story of water once present, lost, escaped to space over billions of years, and once may have been very different. Sink into stillness. The ratio of deuterium to hydrogen on Venus is 150 times higher than Earth's. Strong evidence that water once flowed, but evaporated and fled into the void. Feel yourself floating. Carbonyl sulfide drifts through the atmosphere, creating chemical cycles involving sulfur. Complex reactions happening constantly. The atmosphere always moving, always changing, always alive. You are weightless. Unknown aerosols float in Venus's clouds, absorbing ultraviolet light. We don't know what they are. Mysteries suspended in the golden sky, waiting to be undone. Almost asleep. The sulfur content in the atmosphere changes over time, raising, perhaps indicating volcanic activity, but something else. Venus keeping its secrets. Rest peacefully. In the upper atmosphere, atomic oxygen glows in infrared, creating an air glow invisible to our eyes. There, who is there? Venus, glowing softly in the darkness. Space. You, glowing softly in the darkness. Sleep. Let the atmosphere embrace you as you drift into the deepest, most restful sleep. Float through space now as Venus dances around the sun, following its path through the cosmos. Breathe and release. Venus's orbit is the most circular of all the planets, nearly a perfect circle, with an eccentricity of only 0.007. Graceful, balanced, almost perfect. Your body is completely relaxed. Sometimes Venus comes closer to Earth than any other planet. Closest 38 million kilometers. Our nearest neighbor, reaching out across the void to visit. Let your thoughts dissolve. When we look at Venus from Earth, appears brightest not when it's full, but when it's 39% illuminated. Crescent hanging in our sky. Brilliant. Beautiful. The evening star. Drift into darkness. Through a telescope, Venus shows phases, like the moon. Crescent. F. Gibbous. Full. Cycling through. As it orbits. Changing. Always changing. But always beautiful. You are sinking deeper. Venus's orbital period 224.7 Earth days creates a near-perfect 13:8 resonance with Earth's orbit. Cosmic harmony. Mathematical. Elegant. Almost as if Zen. Feel the rhythm. Every 584 days, Venus and Earth Turn to the same relative positions, called the synodic period. Cycle. Repeating. The planets dancing together through space and time. Your breathing is barely audible. Early Venus transits across the face of the Sun. These transits come in pairs, 8 years apart, then over a century before the next pair. The last transit was in 2012. Next won't occur until 2117. Patience on a cosmic scale, almost completely asleep. Venus's orbit tilts only 3.4 degrees to the ecliptic, less than any planet except Earth. Blind, steady, following its predetermined path. Rest in the stillness, as seen from Earth. Venus reaches maximum elongation about 47 degrees from the Sun. The evening star, the morning star, never straying far from the Sun's light. Forever, the Sun's companion. Forever, dancing in twilight. Let Venus's orbit carry you around and around into peaceful, endless, perfect sleep. Dream with me now of Venus's past and its distant future. Who was and what might be. Breathe softly one more time. Long ago, perhaps 2 billion years in the past, Venus may have had liquid water oceans, waves lapping against ancient shores. A different world, a gentler world, before the heat over Your body is at complete rest. Climate models suggest that ancient Venus could have been habitable with moderate temperatures and liquid water, a world where life might have been possible before everything changed. Let go of everything. The planet's slow rotation today may have developed gradually over billions of years. Atmospheric tides draining away angular momentum. Venus blowing until it turned as it does now. Patient, eternal, drift in the void. Those hypothetical oceans on ancient Venus could have been several hundred meters deep, deep enough for life, deep enough for ecosystems. No. Again. Evaporated into memory, into dreams. Your mind is empty. Some theories propose Venus lost its water to a runaway greenhouse effect triggered by volcanic outgassing, carbon dioxide building up, trapping heat until the oceans boiled away. Forever. Sleep surrounds you. In the far future, Venus will continue losing atmosphere, particle by particle. The solar wind carrying it away. Slowly, patiently, over billions of years. Venus gradually fading. You are dissolving. 5 billion years from now, when the sun becomes a red giant, swelling, growing, Venus will be engulfed, followed by the dying star. The end of Venus's long story. rest in eternity. Imagine we could terraform Venus, shade it with solar mirrors, introduce hydrogen to bind the carbon dioxide, transform it back into the world it once was, a dream of resurrection, almost gone now. Venus's thick atmosphere could support floating habitats at 50 kilometers up, where temperature and pressure are just right. Humans could live suspended in the clouds of our sister planet, drifting to you, drifting now, complete peace. Despite being called Earth's sister planet, Venus evolved into something different. A warning about the sun's power, about runaway effects, but also matter, beauty, indifference, wonder, in mystery. Sleep now. Let Venus watch over you from the evening sky as you drift into the deepest, most peaceful, most complete sleep. Oh, sweet dreams among the stars.